Continuation from the last episode.
It's very
So
true.
why Manchester? Why did you choose Manchester?
So first, I chose Manchester because I was going to pursue the master's program I was going to pursue. They were the only university in the world that provides that master's program.
Which one is that?
So that's international development with a focus on globalization, trade, and industry.
Wow. So you're still pursuing the trade.
You're
still on the trade
yeah.
path. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Now taking it to a global scale.
Yes. And I chose that one because of my background in cocoa. I'm sure you've seen a lot of my writings on cocoa. Yes. And so it was the frustration that I was sort of experiencing in the sector and the questions that I felt. I was like, I don't understand why, Ghana pride itself of being the largest producer of cocoa in the world, but those who produce it are part of the most poorest people in the world. And, Ghana really don't gain a whole lot of things. So I was like, hey, before I even criticize it just because of this, let me try and find a way of understanding how the global trade works, how industrialization works. And also, when I'm able to gain that knowledge, it may give me a good understanding of how the cocoa value chain really works, so that it can now make me make an informed thoughts and decisions around the sector, rather than just criticizing like every other person would say.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great. And I didn't mention, viewers, I mentioned earlier on that he's a jack of all trades. He's a columnist who has written various educative articles on cocoa, including fair trade. Is it fair trade? Yeah.
Yes.
And all about them buying cocoa from Ghana and how much the farmer is gaining. It's a very insightful and educative article you need to read. I'm going to leave his LinkedIn page, and you need to follow him. You need to follow people who will give you information that you need to educate yourself, especially if you're African, especially if you're Ghanaian. So I am really interested to know a day in the life of a student pursuing master's degree in Manchester University. How is it like, especially an African student, a Ghanaian student, coming from the background that you're coming from in Manchester? And I suppose it's the first time you flew out of Ghana.
Okay, I think that was my second time.
Oh, okay, great. So walk us through, how is life every day? How is it like?
So I think that's a very good question you're asking, because I think first it depends on your personality as a person. That will make you experience a particular environment very differently. That is one. And again, your educational background will also make you experience the education here also very differently. Mm-hmm. And I also think that the reason behind you pursuing the master's program will also influence how you can experience the environment. So I wanted to put those three thoughts aside, so that if I talk about my part, it doesn't mean that is how every other person experienced it. I came to do my master's program with a particular problem in mind.
Okay.
And that was a problem relating to the cocoa chocolate sector. Okay. The inequalities in Ghana, and actually in the world.
Oh,
because
okay.
Ghana and Ivory Coast alone produce close to 70% of the world's cocoa beans. So I had the whole world in my mind. So I remember part of the reason when I was applying for my scholarship, you have to write a personal statement. Mm-hmm. I didn't even check online how personal statements are written and all that. I just poured out my frustrations on the cocoa sector on the paper. And so for me, the one who read my personal statement, my lecturers in class, my fellow colleagues will always relate me to cocoa. And so they know that when we do anything, it has to be cocoa. So I had that problem in mind. And so I had work experience as well. So going to class, it was about, I wanted a class that I can have the chance to have discussions with people coming from other places, because in my class, my pathway, those of us that were doing globalization, trade, and industry, we were like 21, but from 17 different countries.
Wow, what an experience. I'm jealous.
Yeah. from 17 different countries. And almost all of them were working at their Ministry of Trade departments. Some are working at the shipping sector, some are working. So it's like all of them are working within the same, the trade and industry, international development.
Yeah.
I didn't have any background in international development. I only have practical project management experience managing cocoa-related projects.
And passion.
And passion, exactly. I have passion, So like you were asking, what is the day in the life of a master's student in University of Manchester? So we have a lecture and you have a seminar.
Okay.
Okay. So, the normal lecture where you go and sit down, you are like 200 people because all of you choose different modules.
Yeah.
So I remember I was doing modules like development fundamentals. That is like one module. So you have different people from different programs that are all doing that specific module. So a class of like, let's say 200 people, then a lecturer is in front of you with a PowerPoint and, doing the lecture. So usually you don't have enough time to ask questions. So most times the questions they would tolerate would be like, let's say 10 or less than 10, because they have a packed slides that they want to rush you through. So it's not really that interesting from that side of things.
And how many hours does that last? Does the lecture last?
So we usually, it's 3 hours a week. So sometimes you have it 2 times. So one would be 1 hour and one would be 2 hours. Okay. Some of them too, you do the 3 hours straight away. So it means you have that module once a week, but you will spend 3 hours.
Okay. And then after that, you do have other lectures.
Exactly.
On the same day.
Yes, on the same day. So like I was saying, for each module, they can decide to split and do it 2 hour, 1 hour within the week. Yeah. And then for each semester, we do four modules each semester, which means and then the master's program too is 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
It's 1 year. I was thinking it's 2 years.
It's 2 years in Germany, it's 2 years in the US, but UK is 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So that's what makes it stressful.
But that's an interesting insight, because I did mine for 1 year, but it was a private master's. So I was presuming with a standard master's is a generic time frame of 2 years. So thank you for that education.
Yeah. Oh, it's only in the UK that is 1 year. I think most countries is 2 years. So you are actually not wrong. It's UK that is doing their things differently.
Okay.
Yeah. So our normal day is having that. So we have the 4 modules. All of them have different times that they do it. So you go for the lecture. Now the same modules also have the seminar. So now the seminar is we break the class into smaller groups. Okay, so that this time when you meet the lecturer, then you can now do detailed discussion of what happened in the lecture side, because at the lecture hall, you are like 200 people, but for the seminar, you are like 20.
But does the seminar happen the same day or a different date altogether?
No, a different day. So lecture is 3 hours. Seminar is also like, I think 2 hours or an hour.
Okay. So in a day, you have only 3 hours of lectures and you're free.
So depending on the modules you've selected, sometimes you can actually have a week where you are doing a lot of lectures and seminars at the same time. If you're not fortunate and you select certain modules where most of them maybe, so for example, within the semester, you are studying 4 modules. That 4 modules, you have the lecture part of that module and the seminar part of that module. Okay. Good. So all of them are treated like different classes. So you can imagine, so depending on the module you've selected and the time slot that has been given to it. In fact, some students even have issues where their seminar is clashing with a particular lecture. They have to figure it out and go and find a way of, making sure they are fairly treated in that sense and all that. So everybody's timetable is different. Every individual's timetable is different.
Okay. So when do you start your day and when do you end your day?
So usually we start our day at 9 and you can end your day like around 6.
Oh, okay. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, but you have some breaks in between.
Okay.
You have some breaks in between, and then your lecture buildings are scattered in the whole of Manchester. So you're always running from this one that you're running to. Yeah.
I would love to talk about the infrastructure, the lectures, and all of that. But before then, you were very active. I mean, I've done quite a background on you and I've been following you. So I know you were quite very active in some societies, particularly the student union. Brief us on how you became a member and how you occupied a higher position in the student union of Manchester University. Tell us.
Oh yeah. Okay, so when I came to Manchester again, as like Ghanaians do, when I got there, we're always searching for, okay, where are the other Ghanaians in this school? Where are the other Ghanaians in Manchester? You're always searching for somebody that we can always feel comfortable around and all that. So I wasn't finding any Ghanaian society on campus. So the scholarship that I applied for, it was for 6 people in Africa that were selected and given a scholarship back.
Thank you for watching this video up to this point. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Stay motivated and inspired.